Welcome. What is happening, everybody? It's your boy Angelo, and welcome to podcast number 16. And I am in a damn good mood. It was been a good couple days. I got a lot of new fun pop culture art coming in. I think I posted the Arrested Development ones. I also got a really cool looking Jeff Goldblum, Ian Malcolm print, Jurassic Park. And I got some It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia prints. Now these are all going in my office, I'm trying to make that the cool spot, And I've just been in a good mood. That has helped. I got a really bitchin' fern, and so far that's doing good. Every plant that I've bought in that Trader Joe's has been money. That and grocery outlet. I think I've talked about that in the past, but yeah, I'm betting 1,000 with these stores. So the plants are doing good. I've been losing weight because I was struggling there for a little bit. I was having a couple days where I just didn't give a F, and I was Uber eating way too much, a lot of carbs. I was still exercising, but it was just kind of lackadaisical. So the last couple days I've been really bunkering down and really getting back to it. And what else? There's some other really good things going on. Oh, the sports scene, baby! Football is back! And I understand the risks, and I'm still on the fence about it because I don't want to see players or coaches or staff or employees or anybody get COVID and get sick and die because of America's impassionate love of the NFL. But I also love the NFL, so I'm happy that week 1 is almost in the books. I think the second Monday night game is going on right now, but I'd rather be here talking to you. My God, did the Seattle Seahawks look unstoppable on Sunday against the pitiful Falcons. And even though the score, it looked a little bit closer, but we dominated those Falcons. It was embarrassing. If I was an Atlanta Falcons fan, I'd be wondering, where's the pass rush? Where's the defense? I should know these issues because as a Seattle Seahawks fan, the last couple of years, we've had shit pass rush. And, we even had a bad defense, but that really could be... Yeah, I'm not going to try to nitpick or try to make excuses. Our defense has been pretty shit the last couple of years. But we traded for Jamal Adams, and he looked as good as advertised, if not better. Motherfucker was all over the field, making plays. He was blitzing. He got a sack, I think. He even hit a few of our players going in. He knocked, what's his name, on his ass, Lano Hill. Looking good, man. I'm so pumped. There was that 4th and 5 play where, I should back up. I don't know, maybe you Seahawks fans remember this, but early on in the game, I would say, no, it's not early on. It was right after halftime, so it must have been third quarter. It was still a reasonably close game. I think it was like 14-12 or something. It was a weird score because the Falcons missed a extra point. And, what's up, LaFonda? Yeah, you haven't bothered me yet since I've started recording. And, there was a 1st and 5 play, because I think the Atlanta Falcons went offsides. So it was 1st and 5, we took a sack, and then we ran, and then it was like 3rd and 5, and we couldn't get it. So we had 1st and 5, we had 3 attempts to get 5 fucking yards, we couldn't do it. And I was pissed, I was watching it with the old man, he was pissed. And then I saw that we were putting our offense back on and not punting, because we weren't even close. I think we were on our own 45 or something. I don't think we were even at half field. So I was livid. I was like, it's a 2-score game. Why are you going for it in 4th and 5? So I was just at my wit's end. And then they snapped the ball, and then you would think that Russell would run, or he would throw a quick dunk pass, or maybe a screen, or a slant. Motherfucker just heaves it. Just throws a rainbow, and I remember screaming, what is he doing? You need 5 yards, you don't need 30. And my boy, DK Metcalf. Oh, I love DK Metcalf. I got his jersey last year. I love it. Dude, I am so pumped for DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett connection. Metcalf brought that motherfucking ball in and ran it in for a touchdown, and I thought, I will not doubt Russell Wilson ever again. And it was groovy after that, Groovy, gravy. It was good after that, I know, LaFonda. I know you were happy too. I love seeing Tom Brady lose again. The Bucs look bad. The Saints tore him up. And, I know that there's some kind, in some parts of this country, there is the thought that there is a rivalry between the Patriots and the Seahawks. And I would agree. Fuck those Patriots. I love it when they lose. But they won. Cam Newton was their leading rusher, which tells you how good that team is. They beat up on the lowly Dolphins with Fitzpatrick throwing 3 interceptions. So those Patriots are still defensive first. But Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers uniform still looked weird. Still didn't look real. Looked like I was playing Madden. I saw the 49ers lost to the Arizona Cardinals, who I have as one of my breakthrough teams this year. My NFC team was, the Arizona Cardinals, and I have a bet, I think with 2 or 3 people, that Kyler Murray, the Arizona quarterback, is going to be the MVP this year. Because for the past 3 NFL seasons, there's been a trend where second-year quarterbacks have won the MVP, starting with Carson Wentz. Now, technically, he didn't win it that year because he got injured the last game of the season, so they gave it to somebody else. But everybody knows if he would have made it out of that game, he was hands down the MVP. He had an amazing year. So I count him as the MVP, and so does a lot of people. So if you don't believe me, go fuck yourself. Yeah, who won the MVP 3 years ago? That's right, you don't know. But do you know who you think won it? Carson Wentz, Philadelphia Eagles. A year after that was Patrick Mahomes. And last year, of course, was Lamar Jackson. So each one of those players were in their second year. So if the trend was going to continue, who are the second-year quarterbacks this year that could win it? Well, at the top of the list is Kyler Murray. I think he won the Rookie of the Year last year, and his first game did really well. He got DeAndre Hopkins because the Houston Texans have got to be the stupidest fucking football franchise out there. Now, they have Deshaun Watson, but they've traded away everybody else. I don't know how that team wins it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're not that bad, but Bill O'Brien just looks like a real pile of shit. However, they make the playoffs every year, so the fuck do I know? But DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray has looked good. The other 2 quarterbacks that would be in the running would be Drew Lock in Denver, which I just don't think he's there yet. And one that could be a wild card is the New York Giants quarterback, Daniel Jones. Now, he looked like garbage tonight, but I only say that because they got their asses kicked by Pittsburgh, which, again, fuck Pittsburgh, too. Pittsburgh and New England are my 2 most hated teams. So I think Daniel Jones maybe has an outside chance. I don't think Drew Lock stands a chance, but I think Kyler Murray is going to be the MVP. So I was happy to see them upset the 49ers. The Jacksonville Jaguars upset the Indianapolis Colts, where a lot of people think the Colts were going to be one of the better teams in the AFC because they have that veteran leadership. They signed Phillip Rivers, and they had a damn good draft according to all the analysts, and they have a damn good offensive line, and their defense is in the top 10, blah, 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 blah. They lost to the team that everyone says is tanking for the number 1 pick, Jacksonville Jaguars. And my boy Gardner Minshew and his sexy, sexy porn stash. I love Gardner Minshew. I think I may have to get a jersey of him. Now, again, I went to UW, and he went to Wazoo, so there's always that rivalry. And I got a lot of shit a couple of years ago during the Apple Cup when I was actually rooting for the Cougs because I wanted Minshew, and I think it was a better story. And all my UW fans called me a turncoat, and all my Wazoo fans called me a faker. So I had everybody pissed. Everybody was upset. Now, I don't remember who won that Apple Cup, but I've just been a huge Minshew fan. I loved him in college, and I liked him last year. I almost picked him up in fantasy this year, but I didn't. And I love it. I love seeing the team that no one thinks they're going to win, the underdog, all that shit. I love it when they win. And do I think they're going to continue winning like this? No. I would say by the end of the season, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to surprise a few people. I think they're going to get 6 or 7 wins. They're not going to be the number 1 pick. So I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback because they want Trevor Lawrence. Who doesn't want Trevor Lawrence? And so, yeah, who knows? There was another upset. Oh, the Detroit Lions. Oh, that poor rookie DeAndre Swift. He could have caught the game-winning touchdown, and he dropped it. He was wide open, and he just butterfingered it. And I could keep talking. I apologize. This is an awful way to start a podcast if you're not a sports fan, but I could just keep talking about how I just love how the NFL is back. I think the country needs it. Do I agree that it should be happening in relation to the COVID? Not really. But I think this country needs it. We need it. We need it for our souls. And finally, before I leave the sports, the Seattle Mariners were one of the hottest teams in baseball for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think we won 6 in a row. And then I think at the end we won 8 of the last 10. And surprise, surprise, in a shortened season, we were right in the playoff chase with, I believe, 15 or so games left. I may have to check on that. But last I checked this morning, we were 4.5 games out from a playoff spot. Now, baseball is expanding the playoffs this year, so it's a little bit easier to make the playoffs. But I'll take it. I'll take it, you know. The Seattle Mariners haven't won shit. Ever. Ever. Even in our glory years, we never even made it to the World Series. That's how pathetic the Seattle Mariner history is. But, by the way, if you are a fan of the Seattle Mariners, you should check out the YouTube documentary series. There's a 6-part documentary series about the Seattle Mariners and their history. I believe it's called Dorktown. You know, let me pull it up here. Just give me a sec. And it's a 6-part documentary series. Now, each episode is about 20 to 30 minutes long, so it's not, you know, really hard to watch or long. Plus, you're covering the Seattle Mariners. There's not much history to cover. we have nothing until the mid to late 90s, and then the early 2000s, and then there's been nothing ever since. But let me pull up that site. I want to say it's Dorktown. I think that's what they call the series, but the actual channel is not called Dorktown. So, here it is. Secret Base. That's the name. Secret Base. That's the channel on YouTube. And the series is called Dorktown. Dork, like a nerd. Town, of course, one word. And I believe I'm on the 4th episode. And so if you're a Seattle Mariners fan or just a Seattle sports fan, take a look. Going back to the current Mariners, Kyle Lewis, he should be the runaway Rookie of the Year. And if he's not, fuck you, Major League Baseball. And I don't know who the commissioner is anymore, but I'm going to blame Bud Selig if he's still alive. That fucking clown. Well, you know what? Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. All right, assholes. Don't be a jabroni. And while we're at it, yeah, I know they took steroids, but Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens were so important to the survival of baseball in the 90s and the early 2000s when everything was spiking for basketball and football, and baseball was close to dying. And then you had that magical home run chase between Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and then Barry Bonds cranking out 74 home runs. And were they juiced to the gills? Of course. But most of the players were, and they were the best. So put them in. If you want to be cunts about it, put an asterisk next to their name. But who cares? And I don't know why they don't let ball players take steroids that helps them recover. No, I don't, they should be tested for like performance enhancing steroids. That I don't want that if I can help it. But if there's steroids that can help you recover if you're coming back from an injury, or these guys put their bodies through hell. And I'm not talking about baseball. I'm talking about all sports. If it has to do with recovery and it's been proven by science or by doctors or who the fuck. If it's about recovery, legalize it. Now, if it's about, bigger muscles, they're putting horse semen into their bloodstream to make them rage out during a game, no. But if it's just, to make you heal so you can keep playing so that the team can make money, you know what I'm saying? Legalize it. But that's how I feel about most things in life. But anyway, I think we've covered the bases with 2 sports. I don't even get me started on the NBA and the NHL playoffs. So, but yeah, let's move on. I think I'm dead kicking this dead horse of Seattle sports here. I am still watching The Legend of Korra, and I believe I just finished I just started season 3, so I believe there's 4 seasons, so more than halfway there. And I gotta tell you, it is no Last Avatar, or Avatar the Last Airbender. Oh, I fucked up that name. But it is, on its own, a pretty damn good show. Are the characters as good? No. But it's still a great show. And I'm really into this kind of animation. I don't know if it's anime, but I never thought I'd get into anime. You know, I'm the cliche, typical white privileged honky ass bitch guy who thought, oh, anime's for dorks, man. Well, I've always been a dork, but like to me, like they were on another echelon of nerddom. Like it was too much for me. But you know what? I said the same thing about Dungeons and Dragons, and I play that shit. And I thought the same thing about all these superhero movies, and I'm into them. I'm into them hard. So I really shouldn't pass judgment before I try something, right? Life's too short to assume you're too good for something. So I have made a list. I've talked to some friends who I know watched anime, and I'm going to try to watch four, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm counting Legend of Korra 5. Now, the only reason I'm choosing these particular series is because I get them either through streaming or they're free on YouTube. So the first one I'm going to watch after I finish Legend of Korra is one that I think is currently on TV, Aggretsuko. Aggretsuko? I guess it's very popular, but I heard about it from a friend. And it's about well, let me just read the synopsis here. Frustrated with her thankless office job, the 25-year-old Red Panda copes with her daily struggles by belting out heavy metal karaoke after work. I mean, it sounds weird to me, but I'll give it a shot. And the second one is The Dragon Prince, which, is that currently on? Okay, so that's another one that's currently on TV. And this one was recommended to me by everybody. Especially if they said, oh, if you like Avatar and Korra and all that shit, you're going to love The Dragon Prince. And I guess there's some voiceover carryover from those shows into The Dragon Prince. And here's what the IMDb has to say. Two human princes forge an unlikely bond with the Elven? Oh, Elven. I've just never seen Elven spelled like that. Let me start over. Two human princesses, God almighty. I took 2 edibles tonight, so that's at least 20 milligrams. So you know with edibles, you have no idea how strong they are. They say 10 milligrams. Motherfucker, they could be 1, they could be 100. You just don't know. So anyway, let me start that shit over. The Dragon Prince. Two human princes forge a unlikely bond with the elven assassin sent to kill them, embarking on an epic quest to bring peace to their warring lands. The fourth one, or third, I've lost count. I can't count. The edibles definitely kicked in. The other one I remember seeing on TV when I had cable and paid for it, because I would watch Rick and Morty on Adult Swim, and Attack on Titan was always advertised for the first couple seasons of Rick and Morty. And I thought, God, that show looks fucking cool. But I saw it was anime, and I was like, oh, it's too dorky for me, man. I'll miss it. And yeah, I'm most excited to watch Attack on Titan because it looks trippy. It looks fucking bonkers. I mean, I kind of want to take some edibles and watch that show. Try to power through, but there is 69 episodes. 69. Nice. And I guess I should read what Attack on Titan is in case y'all want to watch it too. After his hometown is destroyed and his mother is killed, it already starts off awful. Young Eren Yeager. That's the most non-Japanese name I've ever seen. Young Eren Yeager vows to cleanse the earth of the giant humanoid titans that have brought humanity to the brink of extinction. And I don't want to say anything else, but doesn't that sound fucking rad? Moving on to the last one. Now, this is the old-time classic. I don't know about the number 1, but it's up there. It's like top 5 classic animes for the most, from what I've seen and what I've been told. Cowboy Bebop, the 1990 edition. I guess I think there's newer ones. I don't know. But this is the original one, I believe. There's only 26 episodes. I mean, yeah. Anyhow, if you haven't heard of Cowboy Bebop, if you look up, top 10, top whatever, best animes all time, best animation shows all time, groundbreaking animation show, whatever, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Cowboy Bebop is always near the top of the list. There's some other ones, but these are the ones that I could watch right now. So Cowboy Bebop is about the futuristic misadventures and tragedies of an easygoing bounty hunter and his partners. So pretty quick to the point, pretty easy to understand. So yeah, I have never watched anime before. I'm kind of excited. I've made fun of friends and family in the past for it. Now I'm eating crow, which is fine because life's all about growing. And you can't hold on to your stubborn beliefs because you can't admit you were wrong or maybe mistaken. But yeah, so that's what's been going on in my to-do list for TV shows. I do want to quickly mention that I started watching Cobra Kai. I guess it's not a direct sequel, but it's a sequel, some importance, to the Karate Kid movie. I don't know about the sequel because I haven't got that far in the series. Maybe they cover Karate Kid 2. I would love if they cover Karate Kid 3 that had Hilary Swank in it. I highly doubt that's going to happen. But again, I'm only 6 episodes in, so what do I know? And again, this is another show that I thought looked dumb as fuck because why would you wait 30, 20 something? I don't know how many years it's been since the 1984 was when Karate Kid came out. And this show came out in 2018. So let's do some quick math here. 1984, 2 years before I was born. So it's 34 years later. Why are they releasing something? This is going to be stupid. So I never watched it. Plus, I saw that it was on YouTube originally, and I'm like, no good shows are going to be a YouTube original. Again, judgy cunt I was. Sorry, judging cheeky cunt. Anyhow, but one of my favorite comedians, Bill Burr, was talking about how he loves it. And I'm like, all right, Bill Burr likes it. Maybe I'll check it out. I don't know anyone in my life that watches it. No one's recommended it to me outside Bill Burr. And I thought, whatever. I couldn't sleep one night, so I said, fuck it, let's watch it. I got hooked immediately. And I don't want to give anything away because if you've seen Karate Kid and you like the movies, Cobra Kai just follows the same characters, just 30-something years later. Each of the characters has varying degrees of success and failure. The music's good. It feels like every episode's a little mini movie from the 80s. It's pretty cool. And how they juggle today's political correctness, and they have all the original actors, so they're not recast. So if you want to try something new, check it out. Yeah, so this concludes the television show section of Angelo's podcast. And now on to movies. So I have not seen many movies since our last chit-chat. I did watch a very interesting documentary that I had my doubts about. The trailer made it look real, over-the-top dramatic and not in a good way. It's called My Octopus Teacher, and that's on Netflix. So the trailer made it look like it was very excessive, overdone. The dialogue seemed very exaggerated and just passionate to the point of fakeness. He was trying to put on airs. If that makes any sense. So, but I watched it regardless because I like octopuses. I think they're one of the most intelligent creatures on the planet, and scientists agree with me. And that's what I thought the movie was going to be about, and it was exactly that. Without giving too much away, I mean, there's not really a spoiler. It's literally about this guy from South Africa who was having a midlife crisis, and he's a somewhat famous documentarian. I never heard of him, but I guess he's known in the community. I don't know. And he was saying in the beginning of the movie that he was going through this crisis, and he didn't want to make movies anymore. He was alienating his friends and family, and his wife and kids, and blah, 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 blah. And so he decided to move back to one of his childhood homes on the tip of Africa in the south, on one of the most dangerous parts of the Atlantic Ocean. But he found this little area that was secluded by this kind of high ridge in the water. And there was this little pool. And I think they said it was about 55 yards or so big and wide. I don't know the exact size. It's not important. But there was a giant forest of kelp in there as well. So he thought, let me just start swimming around here and get my mind off things. And in the process of swimming, and he started to kind of rekindle that love, that passion he has of documentarian filmmaking. So he started bringing cameras and blah, 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 blah. And he started to notice the same octopus in the same spot every single time. And so over the course of almost a year, I think the movie was slightly over 10 months of filming, every single day, he and that octopus would have some kind of interaction. And again, I just want to go back and say octopuses mean a lot to me. I love them. They're one of my favorite animals. I don't care who you are. If you don't like octopuses, something's fucking wrong with you. And this movie just confirmed a lot of my beliefs and suspicions and gave me new ones. I mean, I have never seen an octopus interact with someone like this. So, again, I don't want to go too much into it because I want y'all to watch it. And if you can kind of wrap your head around what you're watching, which is, you know, a dude and an octopus being friends. I mean, if that can even be a thing. And again, sometimes the documentarian dude does tend to be a little over the top and excessive in his language and his emotions, talking about how when I look in the octopus eyes, I know it looks back at me and I know we're not that different. Okay. A human being and an octopi, kind of different. But you know what? It was a very entertaining, beautiful, thought-provoking documentary. So if you want to watch a really cool doc, check it out. Again, it's called My Octopus Teacher. And speaking of things on Netflix, I think this whole Cuties movie is being way overblown. Of course, I don't have kids, so what the fuck do I know? My understanding of it is that it is borderline child pornography, and that's not what I've heard from people that actually seen the movie. So the whole thing is, if you don't know, there is a French movie that it's on Netflix called Cuties, that follows this one girl. I think she's 11 or 12 or something, and she moves from Senegal with her younger brother and her mom, and they are a deeply, deeply, deeply conservative Islamic family, and they move to this section housing in France, and she starts going to school in a public school with all these, you know, a very diverse public school where you have these classmates of hers that are wearing really skimpy outfits and crop tops and all that shit. And I mean, yeah, it is strange and kind of heartbreaking to see, you know, 12-year-olds wearing those kind of things. But, you know, I don't think it's anything different. Now, again, this is coming from someone who has no kids, so take my opinion at it for what it is. I feel like if you go on any social media platform that these middle school kids are on, it's probably not that different. I think a lot of parents or people are just out of touch about what's really happening with our children. And again, what the critics say is that the movie shows that this kid has all this pressure to become sexualized based on society, based on pop culture, based on social media, and blah, 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 blah. And so that makes perfect sense to me. Plus, it being a French film, you know, it's going to be more in your face, so to speak, compared to the U.S. cinema. So I think everything's being a little overblown, but some of the rancor that people have towards Netflix is mind-boggling. I mean, they tend to be conservative, Republican, Christian parents, and I hope I'm not pigeonholing anybody there, and they're talking about canceling Netflix, and that Netflix needs to be ashamed of themselves, and you need to start doxing people who watch it. Netflix needs to release the names of people that watch it, and all this horse shit. And I'm just thinking, you know, I wish these people got this upset over something that actually matters, such as kids being in fucking cages. That's still going on, you fucking asshats. Or that education defunding's been happening for decades. And, oh, by the way, children of color are getting murdered by the police, and these people that are bitching about Cuties tend to be the all lives crowd. And so I'm just like, really? Why can't you care about something that's actually happening? It's actually important. That's actually fucking up kids. I just don't get it. It's such hypocritical nonsense that a lot of these people have. Now, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know the fuck I'm talking about. I'm just going off of what movie critics that I tend to respect, saying what this movie is about. And even the director came out and saying, no. Why would Netflix put a movie up purely for pedophiles or purely for sexual exploitation? Are you out of your mind? It's 2020. That shit doesn't fly. Nor should it. So I just think it's stupid. I really do. It's really stupid to freak out like this without even seeing the fucking movie. And, you know, fuck it, maybe I'll watch the movie and see what the fuck's going on here. And I highly doubt it's as bad as what everybody says it is. It's one of these things, again, I think people are bored, they're broke, they can't go outside because the fucking weather's poisonous. Sad but true. And they just need to bitch about something. They just need to get stuff off their chest. And they see something that's on Reddit or BuzzFeed or Huffington Post or some nonsense garbage website. No, I do enjoy Reddit, but there's a lot of fucking animals on there. And they just kind of jump on the bandwagon. So my recommendation is this. I'll watch the movie, and if you're against the movie based on nothing that you have seen, only what you've heard or read, try watching the fucking movie and then get back to me, okay? It's ridiculous. I highly doubt the movie's any worse than any Disney Channel series. I mean, come on. For fuck's sakes. So, I guess we can keep moving on to other fun topics. I think the whole idea of Joe Rogan moderating a presidential debate between Trump and Biden is a genius move. I, for one, am a big Joe Rogan fan. Do I agree with everything he says? Of course not. I don't have that with anybody. But I think he is very impartial when it comes to politics. I think he is a true, independent, moderate. I mean, for fuck's sake, he had Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard, Andrew Yang on his podcast, and the rumor is once Bernie Sanders went on there during his latest presidential campaign, Biden, Harris, Buttigieg, all those other dopes wanted to get on, and he said no because he thought it was just he thought it was a grandstand. He thought they would get on there and then just kind of regurgitate the same shit. And that's the same reason why he didn't have any of the Republicans on back in 2016, I heard. So, I think the idea of a 4-hour podcast with Biden and Trump with no audience and just Rogan would be phenomenal. Maybe give both of those old-ass white honkies DMT and talk about aliens and monkeys and shit. And actually really get them talking about what do they actually want to do in this country. What is their vision for this country moving forward? Cut out all the audience clapping and the hooting, and cut out all the bullshit media that kind of just either throw softball questions at them or it's just partisan questions. You got to get someone who's going to ask the hard shit. Challenge Biden on the Iraq war and NAFTA and the crime bill. Challenge Trump over the kids in cages and the whole Russia gate and God damn, there's so many things that you can talk to Trump about. It's insanity. His love of Russia, his obvious love of young kids and models, and his adultery and pedophilia and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, I would love Rogan to ask Trump, how the fuck do you bankrupt a casino? Don't casinos just print their own money, you dope? Anyway, what a jabroni. So, I'm a big fan of this. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Trump on Twitter said he'd be down. I don't think that if it actually happened, either Trump or Biden would be okay with it. I think Trump would be more okay with it than Biden, but I just don't think it would happen. I think it would be great. And if there was a petition to make this happen that would actually cause it to happen, oh, for the love of God, I would put my vote in there so fast. But yeah, I don't even know why we need to have debates this year for this presidential election. Do we really need to see Trump and Biden just kind of mumble and yell and kind of stammer over one another? I mean, we don't need to hear that shit. We want to hear about what are you going to do to get us out of Afghanistan? What are you going to do to get us out of these endless wars? What are you going to do to cut the Pentagon budget? What are you going to do to give every U.S. citizen health care? What are you going to do for the homelessness crisis? What are you going to do for climate change? Because, I mean, it looks like we're in a monster movie. We have 3 hurricanes coming on the East Coast, and on the West Coast, you can't breathe the fucking oxygen. It's insanity. And neither party's doing a goddamn thing about it. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I don't think we need these debates. Does anyone still don't know who they're going to vote for? Are you going to learn anything new? Unless Trump gets out there and starts talking about how he's going to legalize marijuana, or Biden comes out there and starts talking about, we are going to do universal health care, actual groundbreaking things, then sure, have it. But that's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I'll gladly sit here and eat crow. But to go back to the whole original point of this rant is that I'm all for a Joe Rogan moderated presidential debate. I think it would be phenomenal. And I also think it proves that there's a sad state of respect and a sad state of trust when it comes to the U.S. public and journalists. I can count the number of journalists I would trust to do a presidential debate on one hand. Not many is what I'm trying to say. No, Joe Rogan is not a journalist. He's a fucking comedian podcaster. That's what he is. But I trust him more to ask the questions that need to be asked compared to, oh God, fucking, who's that jabroni from CNN? Wolf Blitzer or Chris Matthews, if he's still around, or who's Cuomo's brother, the Cuomo that's on CNN, Rachel Maddow. I mean, all these people are idiots. And then you go to I don't know anyone who's on Fox besides Hannity and, oh, who's that real whack job mook jabroni? Tucker Carlson. Man, Tucker fucking Carlson. If you look up Fanoke in the dictionary, there's a picture of him just staring blindly. Just open mouth, like, huh? Like a deer in headlights. Fucking Tucker Carlson. A human speed bump. Just I'm talking about running him over, people. But no, I would trust Joe Rogan and maybe a few other actual journalists way more than any of those pieces of shit. So, anyway, I'm all for it. Like it means anything. I highly doubt it's going to happen, but you never know. So, let's see what else is on the docket here. Oh, yeah, just something really quick. People, you got to be wary of any white person who's really into their heritage. Now, I'm white, and I'm into my Italian heritage a little bit. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking if someone is like full-on Anglo-Saxon, German, whatever, and really into their heritage and culture. You know what I'm saying? You may want to check their attic or basement to see what kind of cultural trophies they're showing off, you know. Now, that's not to say all white people who like their heritage are racist or secret Nazis or Confederates. You know, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm not surprised if they come back. About 30-40% are. I'm just talking shit here. I don't know. I just overheard someone talking about I'm damn proud of my American heritage, and I looked at, and he was leaning up against this very, very gigantic lifted diesel truck, and there was Trump bumper stickers and "Don't tread on me" stickers and all that shit. And I'm like, oh, I bet he's happy about one kind of American history heritage. Not the whole thing, but maybe one specific time. Anyway, just watch out for those scum, because they're everywhere. No, I shouldn't call them scum. I need a new name. I already used jabroni and mook and fanoke. You know what? Jamoke. I think jamoke also works. You gotta watch out for those jamokes. Jamokes. Alright, we've come to the portion of the podcast where I like to bring out my little diary here and read another movie idea that I have jotted down here. So, here we go. Oh, I gotta do the jingle. It's Angelo's movie time. He thought of something he thinks is cool. Would it be a good movie? Who knows? It'll never happen. Okay. Here's my latest Angelo movie idea. So, this movie follows the last days of an old man who, when younger, was a giant of industry. Now, think of Rockefeller or Henry Ford, or even maybe contemporary times. Think maybe pharmaceutical giants, the Koch brothers kind of thing. Cheney at Enron, those kind of people. Let me go back to it here. Follows the last days of an old man who when younger was a giant of industry and started multiple wars so that he could profit from them. Again, think Enron, think Koch brothers, think Boeing, think all these companies that make weapons of war or makes anything that's related to the military, military contracts, all that shit. So as he's dying, he looks back at his life in a biography-type session with a renowned writer. So I'm thinking of, you know, maybe a Christian Bale could be the old man, because, you know, he likes to put on all that makeup. But if you're actually going to get an old man, and I don't know if he's still alive or if he would do it, Sean Connery or Gene Hackman. I know both of those actors are alive, but they're both old as F. In fact, how old is Gene Hackman here? Let's see. I'm going to guess Gene Hackman has got to be 85 years old. Let's see. He is 90. Holy shit. Well, maybe not Gene Hackman. I don't know how much longer he's got. And let's see. I see Sean Connery's younger than 90. Let's see. He's 92. Son of a bitch. Well, I don't know who. I don't want Clint Eastwood to do it. I don't like that motherfucker. Plus, he hasn't been good in a movie in a long time. Jack Nicholson, maybe. De Niro. Oh, what am I even thinking of? De Niro would be perfect. Done. How old is De Niro? He's got to be in his 70s. 77. Okay, yeah. De Niro would be perfect for the old man. For the writer, I wouldn't mind getting... Oh, who's that jabroni that plays the new Perry Mason? I think he would be a good writer. Oh, wait, I think he did this role already in that Tom Hanks, Mr. Rogers movie. When he... Yeah, maybe that's where I'm getting the idea from. But what is that guy's name, anyway? Oh, Perry Mason 2020. Who is that actor? He was on The Americans, too, which is a show that I never watched, but it's on my list to watch. Matthew Rice, that's right. So, I think it would be cool. I would almost want it to be a 2.5-hour epic where it literally follows the birth, the childhood, and the early adulthood, and the rise of power of this individual, and how, because he grew up with nothing, and maybe in his early life his family got fucked over by a swindler or something, and so he always put money above everything else, and maybe it would be seen that he got JFK assassinated or something. Maybe that's the stretch. I don't know what I'm saying. I just think it would be really cool for a movie to kind of go over the secret, shady, dark hall, the corners of the government and of the 1% of the 1%, people that make money off death and destruction and war and pestilence and all that shit. I think it would be really cool. And you could call the movie Lord of Death or something, or Prince of Death or something that's going to punch people in the gut when they hear it. And yeah, and I want the old man to really be truthful and transparent, and I don't want there to be a twist that he was lying the whole time and he actually did all those things. I want him to be very upfront. Like, he knows his legacy, that what's been told is one thing, but his actual true legacy is so much more horrific. And he is partially to blame for the military-industrial complex that we have in this country. Maybe he caused 9/11. I don't know. So I think that'd be a really cool idea. I don't think it's ever been done before. I think it's a unique story, and I think it would be a relatively cheap movie to make because it's really just two people with flashbacks. I don't know who would play De Niro as a young man. I'd have to really think hard about that. Maybe on another podcast I'll come up with that. But I think it'd be really cool. And at the end of the movie, as he's dying, he's telling the biographer, like, yeah, I don't believe in heaven or hell. I don't know if someone's going to judge me or if something's going to judge me by the values that I've done in life. But all I can know is that I've made America a better place. I don't know if I made it a safer place. I just don't know. I know he amassed billions and billions and billions of dollars. His name is on buildings like Trump. And without him, he truly believes that America would be a third world country. And then he dies, and the book gets published, and that's the end of the movie. We don't see the pandemonium that happens afterwards. But yeah, I think it'd be a really cool idea for a movie. Let me know what you all think. By the way, again, like and subscribe and all that nonsense. Tell me what you think of the idea. Tell me about your idea. If you have an idea for a movie, I'd love to hear it. I promise I won't steal it. And, my dream is if I ever had, $1 billion, I would try to do a Oprah-type channel where I would just create my own television network, and I would be in charge of programming. And I would put all of my shit on there. It'd be awesome. That is my dream, is to have my own TV station, radio station. Would be cool, but no one listens to the radio anymore, so I don't know. Maybe I would do that too. So hook me up, Jeff Bezos. You don't need $1 billion out of your vast fortune. By the way, how much money does Jeff Bezos have here? Ugh, it's disgusting, whatever it is. $186.9 billion? Oh, I mean, that's just a number at a certain point. I mean, that's not even a real figure. So yeah, you basically have $187 billion, Jeff Bezos. Give your boy Angelo $1 billion, and you'll know that you did good for one day, I will do great things with that money. Not send rockets into outer space so I can mine asteroids for more minerals to make more money. How much money is enough? How much shit can you buy? How many zeros do you have to see on a fucking receipt? You know what I'm saying? If I had that much money, I would be doing superhero things. Like, I would buy the Amazon rainforest and protect it. I would buy the Great Barrier Reef and protect it. I would invest all this money into trying to give vaccines to people around the world, kind of like what Bill Gates is doing. I would try to take care of student loans. I'd do mortgages. I would try to fix infrastructure. I mean, I would be a fucking superhero. I'd be like Tony Stark, Bruce Wayne, minus the the costume. Although, fuck, you have enough money, you could make an Iron Man or Batman costume if you had $180 fucking billion, whatever it is. Oh God, and there's 40 million people homeless. Jesus Christ. Anyway. But no, Trump is doing great for the economy. And as Biden says, we gave Trump a great economy. Did you? Did you? Did you? Anyway, guys, I think it's time to wrap up here. All right, time for rapid fire because we're almost at 50 minutes and I got more shit I want to talk about. So, Edward Snowden has been vindicated. Yeah, baby. A U.S. court said that the mass surveillance program that was exposed by Edward Snowden was in fact illegal, which we all knew it was. But, the fucking United States Department of Justice, and this goes back to the Obama years as well, they have treated whistleblowers like absolute garbage, where you would think that the government would be like, hey, thanks for saying that things that we're doing are illegal, we won't do it anymore because, we get voted by the people that we're being illegal towards. We probably should be legal so that they can get reelected. Nope! And even though Snowden had it's with it to say that he had an approval rating, but he did. He had an 80% approval rating in this country, so I don't know. I know a lot of people, mostly older people, see him as a traitor. I always saw him as a patriot, as a hero. And by the way, he got 0 people killed. So that whole argument, well, when he released all those documents, they got soldiers killed. It got 0 people killed. That was lies. Much like Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. Y'all got played. Y'all got played again. Secondly, and this is weird shit, there is a pod of crazy killer whales. You got it. We're back to orcas, baby. I think this is my 4th or podcast in a row where I talk about orcas, the killer whales, but no, this is some crazy shit. There is a pod of killer whales in the Bering Strait, I believe. No, I'm sorry, the Strait of Gibraltar that has been striking sailing boats. And this has never happened before, at least never been recorded. The killer whales have never attacked boats or sailors. And there's been several reports of this. And of course, some scientists went down there to witness this, and they are baffled. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Let's see if I can read a little bit. Since late July, sailors have reported several encounters with orcas in the Strait of Gibraltar that tipped one boat sideways and spun others in circles, leaving them rudderless. There is some speculation that these attacks seem orchestrated, but scientists don't know for sure. And then they have a stupid joke. The orcas have yet to make any statements. If there was 2020 is just getting more and batshit crazy by the day, it would not surprise me if the orcas somehow started sinking boats and whales and dolphins started doing the same. It's like, you know what? You're fucking up our oceans. You're taking all our food. You're polluting it. I ate 6 plastic cups the other day. Fuck y'all. The ocean is ours. We're gonna go straight Aquaman on your ass. That would be hilarious and terrifying all at once. I tend to be pro killer whale. And if they're just taking down fishing boats, that's okay. I think, this may seem a little radical to some of y'all, but if there was such a thing as President Angelo, I would ban, for at least 1 year, all commercial fishing in the United States, and I would press all of my allies to do the same. But China and Russia are going to do whatever the fuck they want. But I would try to rely on farm fish and fisheries than just going out in the ocean and depleting them any further, because we have got to replenish the oceans, people. I mean, we're killing fucking everything. Anyway, on to the next thing. Lastly, I see that Cardi B is officially single. Yeah, baby! I should see if she's on my dating app. But, yep, her and Offset finally broke up. So we can all celebrate that Cardi B is now single and ripe for the taking. I highly doubt she's on the dating app yet, but I will keep checking. Now, I'm a big fan of Cardi B. Do I like her music? Not especially. Do I like her political stances? For the most part, yes. I think she has a sense of humor. She's a better actress than I thought. And this whole nonsense of, how can you like Cardi B? She got men drunk and stole from them. Motherfucker, that happens all the time. Do you know how many times guys steal from women? And you know what? So what? Who gives a fuck? It's part of the game, baby. You know, if you take... Now, I don't want to speak out of turn, but she was either a stripper or something like that. And that's how she would steal people. You know what? If you leave your wallet out in front of a stripper, if you leave all this cash laying around and you get stolen, you played yourself. In the immortal words of DJ Khaled, congratulations, you played yourself. So Cardi B, hit me up, baby. I love y'all, and I think this is a good time to close. You know, I think I spent a little bit too much time on the sports section in the beginning, but fuck it, I had a good time, and I hope you all did too. Leave a like and subscribe, leave some comments, and yeah, see you guys on the flippity flip slide.